Today's interview has everything to do with social media and nothing to do with technology. When we Twitter, when we blog, when we do user-generated content, we are actually holding in our hands magnificently powerful tools for creating change in the world. But often, all that happens is we end up gossiping, we end up backstabbing, we end up perpetuating the status quo. And the reason why is because the technology doesn't really change us. We've got to use the technology intentionally and change the world around us. So how do we do that? Well, today I've got an interview with Toke Møller, and I'm not sure whether I've pronounced his first or last name correctly. Toke is from Denmark. He is a facilitator, and he's done things like work with the European Commission on getting them beyond bureaucracy, which, you know, for an organisation like that, you can imagine is quite a big ask. His specialty is doing meetings in a new way that really helps people to connect, and I'm excited when I hear him talk about that, because that is what social media has the potential to do online. So today is actually an interview that I did with him back in August when he was in Wellington, and he just led us on us being Marie, myself, and about 90 other people on a 4-day workshop about how to do meetings, how to do communication differently. And just recently, Toke was back in Auckland with a group of others doing participatory leadership. Very exciting stuff, and so maybe a bit hard to understand for people who haven't heard about it. So my question to Toke was, can you describe this thing that you call the art of hosting? Here's what he said. Have a listen, and love to know what you think. How can we incorporate this stuff into what we do on Twitter and on YouTube and on our blogs? Thanks, and look forward to hearing your comments. How would you describe in a sentence art of hosting to someone who's never heard of it?
When we speak with each other about what is important, and we listen to each other, then we find each other. And when we have found each other, we connected with each other, we begin to trust each other. If you look at the essence of friendship, it's just trust and respect. And so I would say these are just practices and ways and an attitude to help each other back in that default condition.
Cool.
My mom's definition, might just throw that one in. People say, ask her, what are your Toke and your Monica doing? And her answer is, they help people have the kind of conversations they need to have, but that they wouldn't have unless they got their help.
I love it.
And the other quote is from our queen, Danish Queen Margaret II, our Danish queen, who's a wise woman who speaks to the people once a year. And she said this some years ago, maybe the reason for all the disharmony and the wars in the world is because of the conversations that never took place. So the art of hosting is an offering, it's a gift, it's a practice, it's a way of life that enables those conversations that need to take place to happen, so that we may, it's actually a practice of peace, that we may solve our problems peacefully with consciousness and heart, rather than fight and become violent and create wars.
Pretty profound. How do you apply some of the principles in your personal life?
I live with the consciousness of hosting myself. So I wake up, I sit and I do meditation. I don't just do it unconsciously. I've meditated most of my life, since at least I was 23. So I have a good meditation practice, and I see that in the light that I'm hosting myself. I know I need to keep in balance and harmony to do this work. This is intense work. So I ask myself every day, how can I host myself today? How may I be kind today to myself, so I can maybe be kind to others? I practice it with my family whenever needed. We know we can always call each other into circle. My wife and I have that agreement, and we know that that is a heightened awareness, and we will use a talking piece not like every day. We chat and we do whatever we need to do. But when something is important is at stake, we will use a talking piece. And with my family, it has become a practice we do when we need to. So I practice it in the small, and then that gives me the inspiration and the knowing and the fearlessness to just practice it wherever I feel it's needed without becoming a fanatic, or it's just, man, we're always in conversation anyway. Why not give it a little bit of height and a little bit of consciousness and a little bit of center?
So thanks for that, Toke, and thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your comments. This has been brought to you by SciA, Social Media Consultancy. Find us at sciengage.com. And if you want to find out what's happening in social media in New Zealand and around the world, iJump.co.nz. Thank you. See you later.